Start off this video by saying there is no question that the Boston Bruins are having an historic season right now. When I made a video about the Boston Bruins a few months ago, I talked about how they were off to a really hot start. I had no idea it would get to this level. The Bruins currently stand at a 49-8-5 record for 103 points. They have scored 237 goals and have only let in 132, and they have won 10 straight games. To think that this team hasn't already had a 10-game winning streak and they're still putting up just these elite numbers is absolutely unreal in my opinion. Like you see some of the other top teams in the Eastern Conference, like the Carolina Hurricanes, they had a 10-game winning streak. The New Jersey Devils, they had a 10-game winning streak as well. Just those two teams were absolutely flying. However, the Bruins, they didn't need a 10-game winning streak to get to where they were. And the amazing thing is about this Bruins team is that they really can win in any fashion. They can win in a shootout. They can come from behind. They can win by close leads. They can win in a blowout. They can win in overtime. They can virtually win in any way possible. And it shows in their 10-game winning streak that they can 100% do that. You look at the first game, they play the Dallas Stars, a team that has statistically struggled against playoff teams. They win in overtime 3-2. Now, obviously, Dallas is one of those teams that has just been absolutely just awful in overtime. So, kind of take that with a grain of salt, but whatever. Good win for the Bruins. Nashville, they come in and dominate them 5-0. There's the dominant blowout wins that we talk about. The Islanders, they came in there, they won 6-2. So, another blowout win. The Ottawa Senators, a team that has kind of been very good, and the Bruins have also had their struggles against the Senators this season. They won 3-1, so they can win those close games against those teams that may be trap teams. And that kind of goes to show what Toronto is dealing with, and that's the problem that Toronto kind of has. You look at Seattle next, an absolutely crazy goal-scoring filled game. They won 6-5, so they can win in a comeback or a close lead type game. And then as well as that too, they play Vancouver. They went 3-1. Of course, that was the game with the iconic Linus Ullmark goalie goal. Then you had the Oilers taking on Connor McDavid, the best player in the league. You win 3-2, so another close victory there. Calgary, you take on them, 4-3 overtime win. Buffalo, you dominate them 7-1. And then the Rangers, with Patrick Kane and Vladimir Tarasenko, a team that's looking like to be a super team, you win 4-2. Goes to show that this team is just all around incredible, and they can win in literally any way possible, whether it's against good teams, bad teams, teams in the middle, trap-type games, or playoff games even. They can win all of them. The offense is coming out of many different players on this roster, but I want to point out David Pastrnak as the main one because, of course, he signed a brand new 8-year contract, which means he's staying in Boston for good, and this is a very good contract with the way that he's playing right now. Pastrnak stands at 44 goals, 40 assists for 84 points, and is just playing at an elite level above really any Bruins players right now. What Pastrnak brings to this Bruins team is almost irreplaceable, so it's definitely good that they locked him up for the next 8 years, whether or not this team is going to be in that situation to win. You got Brad Marchand here up next, obviously a player who, he's been controversial in his time in the NHL. He's obviously caused controversy today, but Marchand still having yet again another good season with 19 goals, 35 assists for 54 points. Obviously, he's known for those grit-type styles and licking people, but I think that's honestly out of his game by now. I feel like I've said that in every Bruins video, but it honestly is. Every now and then you'll get the controversial tweet telling reporters to shut up and saying that Detroit is not suitable for an all-star game, but overall you really can't deny it. Marchand's a great player. Next up then you have David Krejci, who honestly I think when he went to Europe and came back, I feel like that really helped him in his production because he's been better than the past couple of years with the Bruins this season with 13 goals, 37 assists for 50 points. He's playing a really good style for this team right now, definitely helping them out with that center depth 100%, and I really like how he's playing overall. Of course, you also have your captain here too, Patrice Bergeron with 23 goals, 25 assists for 48 points. Obviously, Bergeron is locked in on that 1-year contract. It's a mystery whether or not he will come back next season or just decide to retire. We'll see, though. And then the last player, the one I talk about, is Pavel Zacha, who was acquired in that 1-for-1 deal for Eric Hall with the New Jersey Devils. Zacha has turned out to be a really good asset for the Boston Bruins 100% with 16 goals, 27 assists for 43 points. Up next, you look at that blue line. That blue line has just been absolutely incredible, especially with the new acquisition of Dmitry Orlov, who we're going to talk about first. Orlov, since coming to the new Boston Bruins team, he has been very, very good. He has put up 3 goals, 6 assists for 9 points in 5 games, I believe, with the Boston Bruins. So that trade already has turned out really good for them. It also goes to show, too, when you've got a player like Matt Grzelcyk being healthy, scratched out of the lineup, and you can rotate those defenders out, that goes to show you have a really deep blue line, and that's exactly what the Bruins need when you look at previous playoff runs where a lot of their defenders were prone to get hurt. Obviously, there too, you have Hampus Lindholm, who has 7 goals, 34 assists for 41 points. Lindholm's having a really good season with, I believe, a plus 40. If I'm correct, I might be wrong there, but he's having a really good offensive season, and a big part of that is Charlie McAvoy. But McAvoy himself has even had arguably a better season, as he had 5 goals, 38 assists for 43 points. Another really solid offensive and defensive defenseman for the Boston Bruins, 100%. This team's just built really good from top to bottom. To be honest with you, though, that's not even like the part that is the best about this Bruins team. The best part is honestly the goaltending. It has to be. If scoring a goalie goal wasn't already marking a historic season for Linus Ullmark, you have to look at his stats. Like, his stats are absolutely unbelievable, and there's something we haven't seen in years. Ullmark this season has a 32-4-1 record with a 1.89 goals against average and a .938 save percentage. It is extremely rare that you see those numbers in today's highest scoring NHL. Numbers that I can think of present date that even come close to this is Carey Price in 2014-15 when he had a 1.96 goals against average and a .933 save percentage, but Ullmark's stats are even better than that. It's just unbelievable how he's playing right now. I never thought that this goalie would go from being a tender in Buffalo who was kind of average to being arguably a lock for the Vezina. So that being said, talking about the players, the win streak, and the overall team record, we're going to talk about what they're on pace to break. Now, I hate on pace, and I really only hate it with players. However, I do think these on pace stats are pretty realistic for a team like the Bruins, who is absolutely flying right now. The Bruins are on pace to have the all-time wins record and the all-time points record, which are obviously 2 insane feats in the regular season. They're most definitely a lock for the President's Trophy. We may even be making a video, like, in a couple days on this team clinching the playoffs very, very soon. But to me, those regular season records, all that stuff, really doesn't matter to me. What matters is what comes in the playoffs. In previous years, it's been shown that literally anything can happen in the playoffs. You look at Tampa a couple of years ago. They lost in round 1 of the Columbus Blue Jackets. I bet nobody thought that Columbus would have beaten Tampa if you told them that in, like, December. And the reason why this playoff run is so important for the Boston Bruins is because David Krejci is expiring. You got Patrice Bergeron, your captain, your heart and soul of the franchise, expiring. David Pastrnak coming in on that new deal, which, even though it is a good contract, it's still going to affect the cap. And as well as that, too, you have a lot of other players expiring as well. And Don Sweeney has definitely acknowledged that because he's made the moves that look like they want to go all in, acquiring Tyler Bertuzzi, acquiring Orlov and Hathaway. They've done a really good job at acquiring some solid players at this year's deadline that they have a good shot of going all the way. But anyways, if you guys think that the Boston Bruins are going to go all the way, or maybe you don't, please make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to go leave a like down below, and please go subscribe if you're new. I would greatly appreciate that. And anyways, I will see you guys in the next hockey-related video. Adios.